BHP Billiton in the middle of its $40 billion hostile bid for potash that Suzanne was just talking about, reporting today that its profit doubled in the second half. Anthony Rizzuto is joining us now. He is an analyst and managing director at Dahlman Rose. It is one of Bloomberg's most accurate forecasters on BHP. He is with us now to take us inside the numbers. Anthony, what struck you, what stuck out for you in these results?
Well, thanks for having me on. I think most of all, I think the underlying performance here, when we look at EBIT and EBITDA, which are more truer indicators of operating performance, they were closer in line with expectations. I think the bottom line numbers can sometimes be a little bit skewed by currency factors, and there was probably a little bit greater than anticipated currency factor here with the weakness in the dollar.
But yet, I mean, as you've said in yourself and in the research, I mean, that doesn't really do anything to the company's competitive position.
That's correct. That's very correct. We think that they're very well positioned. What really struck us as being very, very positive here, the robust cash flow that we see in the financial condition, which positions them well in the diversification, which will position this company well as we move forward as well.
But yet the moratorium in the Gulf, you say, is going to affect BHP's business, and that might not be one of the positive takeaway points.
As we suspected, the Gulf of Mexico moratorium has really ceased their drilling activities on several key growth projects. So from an organic growth standpoint, as it relates to Gulf of Mexico, we will see that probably not experiencing a lot of growth near term does not take away from the long-term growth, however, there.
All right, Anthony, everybody, when we talk about BHP Billiton, everybody wants to know what these results indicate, if anything, for its bid for potash. I mean, are they going to get the company? Are they going to get this deal done?
Well, it's going to continue to be exciting times here. All this other stuff takes a backseat, obviously. We think they've got the financial firepower. Strategically, we see the importance of having the fertilizer business, another area where China's not self-sufficient. We think they're going to take their time here. They're going to bide their time, see if they can shake out who else might be out there. We personally do not think that the Rio Tinto, as you indicated earlier, as you had Tom Albanese indicating they're not likely to be drawn in here. We don't think Vale either. They're more likely to go after Mosaic, if anything.
And
the Chinese are always the wild card.
The Chinese, you say, are a wild card because we've heard, obviously, that the bid right now is at $130 a share. I've spoken with some analysts that say they could come back with $160, but yet we knew there were a lot of shareholders in Scotland and in England who are very concerned about that potential price.
My sense is, in speaking with some of the larger shareholders, that if we see this move above 150, that would be enough, based on some of the conversations I've had, to entice some people to move here to vote on behalf of this situation working in the hands of BHP Billiton. But I think they're going to take their time. They're going to see how this plays out.
To just put you on the spot here, Anthony, I know it's a little bit annoying, but you say take your time, take their time. How much time? How long is this going to take, do you think?
That's a $64 million question. I think with regard to this takeover play, I certainly see it lasting more than several months here. I think that first it's the regulatory process. And the Chinese, if they are going to indeed enter this process, they would do so as a financial backer. They will not be able to do this on their own.
Do you think that the backer would also be Chinese? Do you think it would be from somewhere else?
You know, you can't rule out other involvement from another source, possibly private equity or some other source that maybe we're not even thinking about at this juncture. But the Chinese have a vested stake here. They realize that in the fertilizer, you know, both for potash and phosphate rock over the long term, they're not very well positioned. I think they see what has happened in the iron ore market, metallurgical coal, and certainly I think they're going to look at any way they have, potentially for a minority stake, that could possibly serve to maybe throw a wrench into the plans of BHP Billiton.
And by the Chinese, you're speaking about Sinochem, right?
I'm thinking of a number of groups. So you've got Sinochem, you've always got a number of other groups that are out there as well. The China Investment Corp cannot be forgotten about here.
Cannot be ignored. Anthony, we thank you so much for your time, for your insight. Anthony Rizzuto joining us there. He is an analyst and managing director at Dahlman Rose.